In this video, we're focusing once more on the VWAP indicator, which is the first of our 5 variants. And with the VWAP indicator in this format, it resets at the start of every session and hence is much more of an intraday scalping tool to be used for stocks, ETFs, futures, whatever it may be. And we'll do lots of examples across the whole piece. I've chosen Apple once more. We're on NinjaTrader. We've got 6 charts up. We've got the 1 minute, 3 minute, 5 minute across the top and the 10 minute, 20 and the 30 at the bottom. And my purpose in choosing this was from yesterday's trading session, is really to highlight the whole business of getting in, because it's very easy to fall into the trap, as I've highlighted in the introductory videos, to fall into the trap of using the VWAP itself as a get in, get out mechanism. In other words, the price moves above and we get in, the price moves below and we go short. It is far too simplistic, and as I have explained, if you use it in that way, you will get cut to ribbons. The whole philosophy is to use it in conjunction with volume price analysis. Now, if we start with the 5 minute time frame, just going off track for one moment, what this also reveals is something else I've demonstrated in one of the introductory videos, is the shape of the volume profile. We always see a surge in volume as the physical market opens. It then tends to move into the regular session where we get the peaks and troughs, as you would expect throughout. And then finally, at the end of the session, we tend to get this rise in volume. So we get this, it's not quite parabolic, but we certainly get a big increase in volume at the start into the session, and then we get the rise in volume at the end. Now, as I said, it's very easy to look at the VWAP here, this line in the center, as your trigger, if you like. And all I would say is do not use it in that way. We have our standard deviation, 1 standard deviation envelopes, top and bottom, which help to give us some guidance. And then we're looking at volume price analysis to help dictate the decision making for us. Yes, the price moved above the VWAP, but as I'll show you on the other time frames, there are very clear signals that this is not a rally that is going to last. This is merely indicative of a push-up by the market makers to get us into a weak position. And certainly that's the case. We've got this very strong candle here on the 5 minute time frame, which gives us a strong clue to that effect. If we go down onto the 10 minute here, again, you can see the volume coming in here at the initial open. Lots of volume, but a really big wick to the top of the candle, so it doesn't look particularly strong. And exactly the same thing is repeated here. So this is not a strong opening for the stock, and it certainly is supported by the amount of volume that's being driven in there, and certainly not looking as if it's going to continue high with any great momentum. We're bouncing around the 1 standard deviation there as well. If we go down onto the 20 minute, not a lot there to really confirm that, but the one that really does confirm it for us is onto the 30 minute here, where we get a nice 2-bar reversal. So we've got a great 2-bar reversal here, really does confirming that this is really not going anywhere. And once again, what this does is really to highlight the importance of using multiple time frames to confirm what is going on across your time horizon. And it just gives you that extra confidence when you see things happening in a slower time frame, even if you're trading in a faster time frame. And then what we see, if we drop down onto the 20 minute, is we then see this typical price action that you will see a lot. We start to see the sell-off for sure. Okay, we've moved below the VWAP now. You also see, as I've mentioned in the introductory videos, you will often see this where the price retraces to the VWAP and then starts to move away from it. So it's very similar in a way to, if you like, moving averages, where the price retraces to the moving average, bounces off, it finds support or resistance. And it's the same here with the VWAP. It will act as resistance or support depending on which way you are traveling. And then we start to see the price waterfall develop, and we start to see the rising volume, just really confirming that we are in a heavily bearish phase of price action. Let's go down backwards, if you like, onto the 20 minute. Again, similar sort of thing here. It's just bouncing off that VWAP, cannot get through there. And then we start to roll over and into the downwards trend there. Over onto the 10 minute. And again, much the same. We see this rally. We've got a little rally here. We're coming back. We don't quite make it on that occasion, but volume is declining there. The volume actually is declining throughout that period through here from this area right the way down to this area. It really is telling us that, yes, okay, we've retraced back to the VWAP, but it really isn't looking terribly strong anyway, purely from a VPA perspective. And the VWAP is really just confirming that for us. And then off we go down into that move lower. So that was on the 10-minute. Let's just pop up back up onto the 5-minute now. And again, much the same thing happening here. As you can see, here's our VWAP, here are our envelopes. We come back, we test. And again, we're looking at the volume down here. We're looking at the volume as it's confirming. We've got nice rising volume here, on down we go. And then we're just into traditional volume price analysis. Now, you could almost look at this in another way as well. If you were purely looking at it we're looking at it from the perspective of the VWAP here, and we're breaking away. But of course, you'd also be looking at it in the context of support and resistance. So this might be your area where you're comfortable. We've broken below that price level there. You might have the VPOC working in association with this. You would certainly have support and resistance working in association with as well, because we don't just use one indicator in isolation. But once we got a breakthrough that level there, that would certainly be a very strong sign that we are in a bearish trend developing, having broken away from a sustained congestion phase, and now we're into a strong downtrend. So as always, it's putting all the elements together, but I wanted to highlight this particular version, this particular example rather. Let's just have a quick look at the 3-minute. There we are, very similar there. And as you can see, bouncing around off this the one standard deviation here below, back up to the VWAP, but not getting through the VWAP. Back we get down again, and then of course we break away. And again, very similar ideas. You'll be looking at the support levels for breaking down there, and then of course as we break lower, then the VWAP itself is starting to decline. Again, it's another aspect of the VWAP is looking at the trend of the VWAP itself across all your time horizons, and as before, it's declining, it's sloping away in all our time frames. So it's really just confirming this bearish sentiment for Apple during the trading session. So a nice example there, I think. Hope you've enjoyed this particular video. There's lots more to come, and we'll be doing lots of different examples, instruments, and so on and so forth. So see you in the next one. Bye for now.